this is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done personal readings with you. I've done a lot of tutorials and a lot of educational ones talking about the angels and how to be holy. And so I thought I'd take some time to go ahead and do a little update. So here are some songs. So a couple of songs that I've had is I'm Walking in Favor by the Golden Truth Music on YouTube. It's their channel. One of the songs came on. It says, I'm walking in favor. And here are the lyrics. It says, today is a new day. You are loved, chosen, and blessed by God. Walk forward with confidence because God's favor surrounds you. Yeah, morning sun on my face. I rise with a grateful heart. Every step is ordered, every little piece set apart. His grace goes before me. He makes the rough road plain. I lift my hands and smile now. I won't fear. I walk in faith. Doors are opening. Hope is flowing in. Heaven is saying go. And then I answer, amen. I'm walking in favor and I'm walking in grace. God is leading me every step of the way. I'm walking in favor and I'm walking in grace. God is leading me every step of the way. Blessings on my pathway, mercy in my house, joy like a river. What was locked is open, what was dry is rain. I'm coming by his promise and will not walk in shame because I'm walking in favor. So last night, my divine counterpart came to me in a dream. The energy was very peaceful and full of unconditional love. And in the past, we had had some energetic go-rounds. So it was really a very coming to Jesus kind of moment for us in the fifth dimension. And I am so grateful for it. So in the dream, I was sitting cross-legged on the floor of our living room, playing with fidgets, to help get my creative ideas flowing. So he walked into the room as I'm busy concentrating on what I'm doing. I don't pay attention, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, I look up and he's like standing over me, smiling at me, and I'm just looking up, and he just gently bends down, gives me a nice little kiss on the cheek, and just quietly says, thank you. And then he just walks back into the kitchen and starts cooking. I just looked up and smiled and kind of held my hand like at my cheek like, did that really just happen? Then the next thing I remember was I was looking outside the window and all of a sudden I see, don't know why, baby koala bears hugging. Now I have always wanted to go to Australia to the Crocodile Dundee's nature preserves that they have there, his family. So I don't know, maybe I was visiting there, I'm not sure, but there were koalas hugging in my front yard and they looked really sad because it was raining. For some reason then I decided to get up and I lost my concentration because when you're a creative artist, you kind of have to get into the creative flow of things, and sometimes you lose your train of thought and then you try to do something else and then come back to it. So I think I was just kind of like stretching my legs because I was like stuck in the creative process. And I went and walked into our bedroom, and then I looked, and before I turned the lights on, I realized that hiding next to the bed were the koalas that I just saw hugging outside. They were little baby koalas hugging. And next to them was a dog that was all laid up, curled up, just snoozing. But he looked up at me like, uh-oh, mom's in the room. And then there was a cat that was laying on the bed all curled up, just cozy and relaxed, who then kind of perked the ears up and looked like, uh-oh, we're caught. And then for some reason, a cockatiel popped its head up over the edge of the bed and like looked at me like, oh crap. And cockatiels were my granny's favorite bird of choice when she had pets when she was alive. So I thought that was kind of funny that she was showing up. So all of these animals were all like in there peaceful, but I remember like double taking, looking over my shoulder like, wait a minute, how did you get inside? It wasn't even weird that I had all these animals hiding in my bedroom, because people have said that I'm like Snow White when it comes to men and animals. And my kids have the same sort of magnetism that draws people to them and animals to them. So it wasn't even strange that I had these animals all in my bedroom, but I just remember going, wait a minute, like, you were just outside. How are you inside? Like, so when I woke up, I went ahead and I looked up the meanings, and I found it interesting. This is what I discovered. It means that I want safety, peace, and comfort in my waking life. The bed represents a place of rest and private safety that my divine masculine is actually providing for me. The hidden animals show that the soft, gentle parts of my feelings are resting and waiting nearby. Baby koalas show a need for gentle touch, deep rest, and a slow comfort. Cockatiels bring a quiet voice, soft thoughts, and a wish for inner peace. Cats stand for my private thoughts, mystery, and independent feelings. And dogs mean loyal friendship, trust, and a wish for faithful support. So then I got my divine counterpart who telepathically told me that he's like the Lone Ranger and I'm like Tonto, so I need to be ready to ride at dawn whenever he says, and that my shenanigans better not slow him down. So I promise that we will combine our divine missions and amplify what we're trying to do in this holy war. I know every generation I've had family members that were soldiers, and so this one happens to be in the spirit realm, and I'm constantly kicking booty up in the spirit realm, trying to protect him no matter where he's at on the planet. And he's way better at the 3D reality than I am, so when we come together, it's going to be a mighty force to be reckoned with. And I also met some really cool people along this path that I wouldn't have been able to if he and I had actually partnered up 3 years ago. So I'm grateful for the time and separation, because I've been able to mature and grow and really hone my gifts to be able to be even more effective in helping people. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the next video. So my divine counterpart telepathically reassured me that he'll make sure that my family will be able to reach me on his bat phone at all times, so I don't have to worry about getting disconnected from them while he and I travel. Like I said, I know that he and I are going to be doing a joined mission that he's already kind of been spearheading for a lot longer than me. I've been doing it my whole life, but really intentionally, consciously doing it for the last 3 years, and I know he's been doing it for at least 10. So learning how to submit and surrender to his lead and have trust has been the lessons for both of us. And so, and for him to want to lead somebody. He's been burned so many times trying to find his divine counterpart, and each time it ends up being a counterfeit. So to have true faith that, yes, this is a divine union that God ordained as a covenant has been a little testing, I'll say, for him. But I think that he's realizing the truth of it. And let me go ahead and give you some messages. So when my children were younger, my sister would take us to White Sox games to celebrate the 4th of July. So today's messages and memories have a baseball theme. Number one, I got the movie quotes, and I heard it frequently recently, was "Build it and they will come." And that was from the film of Field of Dreams. So this movie had Kevin Costner, who built a baseball diamond in a cornfield in his father's honor after he had passed away. So I think this was a message from my mom, who had recently passed over, telling me not to give up on my dream of building my family business to honor our family's gift to humanity. I know I have 1 month to renew my fees for Homans Consulting LLC, and I had kind of relinquished it to God and said, okay, Lord, if it be your will, I will let it go. But if you want me to continue to have this soul-led business, then please help me find the funding to be able to continue it. So we'll see. I have till September 15th. And if you would like to help support my business, I would greatly appreciate it. You can send me information, and I can send you how to get me some money through homans.consulting@gmail.com. The next movie that I got was Angels in the Outfield. And this is the visual where the angels are picking up baseball players' bodies to move them to make impossible catches and game-winning plays. I think that this message is from my children who are still here on the earth realm, but I also am a gatekeeper for the souls of children that are yet to be born. So I think that, because I once had a psychic medium tell me that I'm surrounded by children in the astral as well as in the physical, and that's very true. So I think that the angelic realm is kind of like picking me up and moving me around the chessboard of life all over, and having me travel to all these different locations to talk with all these different people that are in need of help. Just the same way that those angels in the movie couldn't be seen by the people, but they were like lifted up and moved into place in order to like have these miraculous wins. Okay, and so the reason why I say my children also is that my 3 children that I birthed are now adults, and there is that part of me that still identifies with the role as their mother, but they no longer need me in that role of mother, because they've learned what they needed to learn from me, and they're implementing all the lessons, and they're learning from other people, and so it's time for me to be able to expand and help nurture other people. And I think they just wanted to encourage me through the 5D that we're all being protected, and that they don't necessarily need me hovering around and checking on them, but that they are still connected with me and wishing me well on this journey. Another baseball themed quote and visual that I got is I forgot the name of the movie. It is Tom Hanks as a baseball coach, and I believe it was Madonna was one of the players. I can't believe I forgot to write this down. Okay, anyway, it's the scene in there is where Madonna, this was like when they first allowed women into the major leagues baseball, and they were very sexist, and it was just it was not very good on how they treated these women. And so they had to wear these like skimpy little skirt outfits, and so it's the scene where Madonna slides into home base to score a point, but she ends up bruising like her entire leg. They show you like how messed up she was, because she had no protection on her, because they wanted her to be all cute and sexy for the people watching the game. So that visual I got, and the other part of that movie is I keep hearing is Tom Hanks yelling, "There's no crying in baseball." So I believe this is a message from my divine counterpart telling me not to let the darkness of the world settle into my soul, and that we'll build again. Every time somebody tries to knock me down, I keep getting back up. But that he was just kind of reminding me not to just lay down and cry and wail about it, like get up and build again. And this time I'll be able to actually use the business tutorials that he made, because I'm the type that is like, somebody tells me I can't do something, which him and his team kind of made me feel like, oh, you should just go get married, like don't even try to have a business. Not saying that's what they said, but that was how I felt. Like I was trying to play in the big leagues, and I wasn't ready for the big leagues, and so that got my fire going. I was just like, okay, watch this, but pride it also comes before the fall. And so yes, I was able to build a business for 3 years, but at what cost, right? So I spent a lot more money investing in the business and building and getting everything, dotting my I's and crossing my T's, but yet I wasn't getting the money back from sales. And so now he's kind of like, visually right now I'm getting him, and he's doing it teasingly this time. But before it was like a mean coach like Tom Hanks. It was like, get up and you're toughen up. Now he's softened. Now he's still like standing there like this, like tapping his foot. Like, if you just would have watched the videos that you bought from me, then you probably would have your money by now. So, touche. But I did a great job building it on my own because, Little Miss Independent. But now that ego has died, that version of me is no longer there, and I'm ready to accept help. And he's willing to graciously provide it. So thank you. All right. Let's see. So I look forward to the day that when he and I are actually working side by side in the 3D to create the sacred space for others to receive healing and to learn the skills that they need to build their own sovereign kingdom blessed by the divine matrix, because they are aligned with God's unique blueprint for their lives. Because that's what we're here to do. He and I are both waymakers and wayshowers and guides along spiritual journey, and the universe brings people to us for different reasons. His is to help people learn how to build a business using their gifts from God, and I'm here to be able to teach people how to handle the mental health and their spiritual healing, their soul healing, improve their communication and their behavior. Because let's put it this way, if he's teaching you how to build a vehicle, well, you still need to know how to drive it, and you need to make sure that everybody that's riding in that vehicle gets to the destination safely without killing each other or themselves. So that's where I come in. I just finished training on how to do this even more effectively by becoming what's called a a certified peer support professional. So another certificate that I've earned by this good old state of Indiana that allows me to work with people with mental health and addictions and being able to combat those issues that may be preventing them from living their best lives, and helping people be able to work together as a family unit, because everybody has very diverse backgrounds. Everybody is at some point in the healing journey. I always say you can have two people in the same room, but they are definitely in two very different galaxies and may not speak the same language. So you have to learn how to get on the same page, which is why I created some programs to help with that. Okay, so now August 12th, which was just, what was that, 2 days ago? Sorry, days start to blur sometimes. We had a solar eclipse, and the wildness that brought on for Indiana was intense. We had over 5 tornadoes get sent through Indiana, and we are technically in a state of emergency today. We had 60% of our NIPSCO, which are the electric service provider. So 60% of the electric customers were without power, which is approximately 317,000 people without power, making this one of their largest outage events in company history. And there is still a lot of damage control being done. We're still trying to help each other get through this. And so if you are touched by that, then I am praying for you, because I understand. I know my sister still doesn't have power, and my son's household, they just got power. So everybody here is, scrambling for resources and trying to figure out how to get through the day to day. And I think I was talking with the doctor that I'm now working with, that he made the comment. He said, you do know that powers out there have learned how to, alter weather patterns. I said, yeah, I do. And so I told him, I said, my son seems to think that we need to boycott the the data centers that are disrupting the weather. And I said, I agree with that. But I also think that there are forces in higher positions that are sending all of this destructive weather towards us, because we are the Bible Belt and we are the heart of America, and that if they take all of us prayer warriors and make us have to scramble around cutting down trees and putting back up power lines, then we can't be in prayer. And the doctor kind of looked at me and just kind of like in agreement, shook his head, and he said, I look forward to talking with you next week. Just don't lose hope in the fact that this all has a design that is orchestrated by God. That's one of the things that I have to keep in mind. I know that I'm supposed to be completely sovereign in my business, but there's things that I'm going to be learning under this doctor's tutelage that's going to get me ready for the next level when my divine counterpart and I actually get to join in 3D and start taking what I'm doing and what he's doing, combining forces and going international. So I know that I'm reinforcing the skill set and the training that I've been getting up until this point, and that this particular doctor, who is in his divinity, who's very aware and ascended and enlightened, is going to also have other connections that are going to guide me and teach me in some other ways. Now, I do believe that because he's a holistic chiropractor, that he's going to also be able to teach me how to do more with my healing hands. There's a woman that works with him that I've talked with who knows how to use like the cupping and heating stones and other methods of massage to be able to open up the meridians and get the energy flowing, and reflexology for the feet and hands. So there's a whole lot that I'm still learning. And even though we have death and destruction, there is growth and rebirth. So try to focus on the good that is still there, rather than dwelling on the problems that are there as well. Okay, so I know I'm talking a lot, so I'm going to be breaking down this probably into 2 videos. Because the other thing that I wanted to do, go ahead and stop there. Is I wanted to go ahead and start off with, because of the lunar eclipse, I'll go ahead and start with a lunar oracle message from our moon magic. The paper started to fly away. Okay, so let's see what the moon, it was a new moon, is bringing in. And it was cool because last night I saw a license plate that had 555 on it, which means it is time for change. And I love every time the universe gives me an indication that I'm leveling up, and letting me know that everything that I am doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, right where I'm supposed to be, learning what I'm supposed to be learning in preparation for the next leg of the great American spiritual race. All right, we have Moon Dust, card number 40. I apologize if I'm talking really fast. I'm just excited. I haven't got to talk with you guys in a while and get all of this information out to you. All right, card 40 says your keywords are joy, surprises, and wonder. And I did a card spread for myself yesterday, and I got the Holy Spirit card. It was so exciting. I got chills with it, and said to be expecting miracles. So stay tuned. This is a lovely card, and it comes to inform you that a sprinkling of gold moon dust is about to be distributed in your life. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that magic has been activated and wonderful things are about to happen for you and your loved ones. This card represents a sudden, unexpected turn of events that leads you to a place of great joy and happiness. It might indicate a happy coincidence or a lucky windfall. It is a nice card for those who are feeling a little jaded and in need of a pick-me-up. It will reignite your sense of wonder and awe at this magical world we live in. While it is not an energy that sticks around for long, you will know when it is playing out in your life because you will experience something that simply blows you away. Enjoy it for what it is and take the chance to make some lasting memories. I love that for us. Because if you're a part of my collective, you've experienced the trials and the tribulations. And I was talking with one of the beautiful souls that I got to connect with while I was down in southern Indiana doing my training. I had met two in particular women that stood out that were very spiritually gifted and in need of some comfort, and gave me some wise wisdom and guidance along the way. And we were talking about how to navigate the new age while still maintaining our faith in Jesus Christ, and to not let the evils of the world and the new age spirituality, hinder my walk with Jesus. Speaking of the Ascended Masters, let's go ahead and see who wants to speak with us. We have the Keepers of the Light Oracle, and see which Ascended Master would like to speak with us. She and I talked about how there are many spiritual leaders, but Jesus is the only one that brings you through to your anointing. You have to have Christ in order to reach Christ consciousness. So we have the Miriam, Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all, and remember that love has no boundaries. It's beautiful. I know there have been times in my past where I would hold on to the hurt and the anger, and I wanted justice, and I want vengeance, and I want justice. And God said, that's all mine. So just keep building, moving forward, learning your lessons, and let me deal with those that have worked against you, because there is truth into the touch not my anointed. All right, let's do Work Your Light Oracle deck. There's been times where I've wanted to do lawsuits, and God said, nope, you don't have to. Yeah, I could win, but they might take years and years and lots of money to fight them, and God has other ways of equalizing things. We have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. I love these confirmations, because for so long people have told me that I was not these things, and I'm like, yes I am. But the world will try to coerce you and pigeonhole you and get you derailed. On my YouTube channel, I did post for people that I resonate with who have had mental health issues in the past due to coerce and covert control and being targeted and having people create false narratives that lead you to seek help for your mental sanity, and then realizing that, oh, I didn't really need that. They were creating this by causing reactionary abuse, and now you've got like people that are like, oh, anyway. I put a little diagram on there for those that relate with that, so that way you know that you are not alone and that I'm a safe person that you can talk to. I was going to get Archangel Raphael, but he said no, wait until the end. I get the final say. So let me put those back. Yes, sir. Let's get a message from the Shaman Tarot book. This is one of the new ones that I had gotten while I was down in southern Indiana for my training. And I learned really great ideas on how to help people be able to come to their own conclusions on how to change things, instead of me kind of giving them cheat codes and being like, oh, okay, you told me this, you told me that, how about you try this? That was one of the issues. I think I was trying to guide too much, and the way this program for the peer support is kind of teaching me how to now elicit through questioning to help you be able to come to your own conclusions, because there's so many different ways to heal and to move forward. And if I'm just giving you one, you might have better suggestions for your own path and your own healing than me just kind of saying, oh, well, this is what I'm getting. And so being able to really help people to co-create for themselves is what I'm hoping to accomplish. So I'm looking forward to this new change. Ooh, this is one of my favorite cards, to be honest. I love Hermit mode, which has not helped me again in being an entrepreneur. I have to be around people, which the Holy Spirit told me in the private reading I did for myself, that my divine counterpart is going to get me out of my comfort zone of just being behind a camera, but actually doing public speaking in larger crowds than I have. I've done some international summits and things, but to actually get in front of people, to share my story, share my branding, share what I'm all about. So the Hermit. And let's find out a little bit more. The Hermit mode for me really allows me to block out all the distractions of the world, allow me to really focus, like I said in my dream, right? Like I get hyper, it's part of I think the autism and the ADHD. Clearly you're seeing the ADHD right now. But part of the autism is getting hyper focused into things that I'm creating and enjoying. But it does no good if I'm creating all these self-help workbooks, but I'm not getting them into people's hands, right? Like I can create all this stuff, but then I also got to connect with people in order for you to be able to use these tools. So the Hermit is on a pilgrimage and comes to show you how to break free from the grip of the material world. The precious aloneness and renewal that you seek is available when you leave the everyday trappings and seductions and step into the unknown. This is a time for solitude and deep reflection. Journey inward to find your inner light and let it lead you. Discover the wisdom that resides within. And a lot of times, I'll be honest, I prefer spending time with God. I think I even said that when I was working, volunteering with one of the shelters. I was like, I just want to be able to be alone with Spirit and just kind of do my own thing. And that's not accurate either. I need that time, but then I also have to be interacting with others as well. Okay, let's see. We're going to take from my new deck the Angels and the Ancestors Oracle deck. And let's see what message we get from them. Spirit Fox. This one tells us to trust your talents in changing times. So for a long time I would doubt myself because others would doubt me, and then I would take on those projections, and then I would be going, okay, well maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I am a little crazy. I don't know. But now I know. I've had so many confirmations through this spiritual journey and this healing journey that I can trust myself in this new evolution of entrepreneurship that allows me to connect with people in a way that others cannot. I've had so many life experiences that are just out of the out of the usual, out of the ordinary. And for the people that I'm going to be working with, they too have had these experiences and have had people gaslighting them and targeting them and trying to medicate them and put them into psych wards and throw them into incarcerations and all of the systems that try to control us. And I will be a safe person that they'll be able to explore their spirituality as well as to feel and know and experience the love that God has. And then I'll help them be able to really embrace Jesus in their life. All right, let's take a card from the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck. is another new one that I picked up. One of the ladies that I met while I was training down in southern Indiana had told me just to be cautious, that some of my videos might seem like I'm worshiping the angels, and so I just want to put a disclaimer: I don't worship them. They are co-creators, they are protectors, they are guides for me, but I do not worship them. But I do thank them for their service and for what they do to help me to be able to walk amongst people in the darkness and help bring them the light, because I know what it's like to be lost in the wilderness, needing some guidance. Ooh, all right. This one is, this is again how I know that I'm close to union. Because I know in a previous videos I was like, where are my people? Well, they've been coming little by little, slowly by slowly. We have the Emperor. This one is a message from Archangel Michael. And it says, logic and organization will increase your success. Take charge of the situation and accept a leadership role, structure, and discipline. That's where I think that my Divine Masculine, like I said, he was kind of like, okay, I love you, but you're driving me a little crazy because you're a little scattered, running around, trying to learn from all these people when you have everything you need. So let's get together and yeah. You and I combine. Let's get together. What do you say? We'll have a swinging time. And like I said, we'll be able to take his logic and brains and my passion and my heart, now that we're both balanced, and be able to come together and create something beautiful. All right, my ancestors said that they want a chance to speak, and then we've got Archangel Raphael. So let me give you a star seed mantra. It's wisdom for spiritual growth, and then we'll wrap this video up. Just heard my divine counterpart say that my childlike essence is addictive, and I said I agree, and I want more people to be able to reach this level of energetic healing, to bring in more harmony, more peace, more love, more light wherever they go. All right, we have Gaia. Connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. I know change can be scary because I've been there. And that's one of the things that I can hold people's hands through. Sometimes I've held on too long, and that's where then they become codependent on me, and they become energy vampires, and then I have to do all these cord cut cleanse, releasing rituals, salt baths. So I can help people who are very empathetic learn how to help people and keep it moving. Keep your boundaries up, how to protect your energy, how to really stand your ground when it comes to this is all that I can do for you, and now you need to go find somebody else to help you with whatever it is you're dealing with. And made a lot of the mistakes in order to learn from them, and I want to be able to help you be able to avoid some of those mistakes on your healing journey. All right, ancestors, give me 2 more messages, please, that you have for me and the collective. And 1 more message, please. 1 more message. Let's see what we got. Okay. So the first card that popped out really quickly, I think is to describe me, says the Queen of Spades, which is the Queen of Swords, and this is something I've had to learn how to tame, because power of the tongue is real, and everybody is hurting and healing at the same time, so we have to be very cautious with our words. We have to have rational decision making, mindful of negative emotions, strong communication, and I know I can come off very intimidating very quickly, which can be very forceful and cause people to wall up. And so I've had to learn how to navigate that. And if you are somebody who also has that issue, I can help you. Maturing and nurturing, witty and caring, practical and wise, a sharp mind, creative and logical, an intelligent and independent woman, which can also be a detriment. And when men want to be of service, men want to take care of us, men want to have a role in our life. And if we don't create the space for them, then they're going to move on to somebody who does. And one of the gentlemen that I was sitting next to in the training was a young man. I think he said he was like 29, which is my oldest daughter's age, I say close to my kid's age. And he is leading a sober living place, and he's also helping with tattoo removal for people that are coming out of prisons that would like to have, or gangs, and have those tattoos removed, because they have moved and evolved and transitioned and learned through Christ and through the hardships in life that they are no longer that person associated with those tattoos, which I thought was just amazing. But he shared with his story with us, and I told him, I said, I can tell, and I don't mean to be offensive, I don't know another way to say it, but I said, you probably struggle with being what I call a Captain Save-A-Ho. And he just started laughing. He's like, you hit the nail right on the head. He's like, no, that's exactly what the problem is. And he talked about how he spent 3 years in a relationship trying to help a woman who really honestly didn't want help. She just wanted to flail around and, oh, I'm a victim and this is horrible and life is awful, and wanted him to keep being Spider-Man and keeps rescuing her and saving her. And so we had a really great conversation about how he wants his life to go, and I hope to be able to guide him a little bit through that. Okay, the next message that I got is letting me know that I'm finally moving past what is the 3 of spades, which is swords, which is disappointment, painful truths, thoughts, feeling sorry. We sometimes like to throw pity parties and be like, why isn't anybody helping me? Well, because God wants you to only rely on Him. Let Him lead you, and then your destiny will reveal itself. And if you're like me, the thought of the unknown was not something that I was interested in participating in, but through the healing journey, I am now excited for the unknown, so I can help those that are in that position as well. It does say that I experienced a lot of betrayal, bad heartbreaks and breakups, which of course would lead to disappointment, sharp words, emotional wounds, and painful realities. And I had to learn to take full responsibility for my part of calling in those lessons, and not just be in victim mode of why me, where are all the good guys, why is it always like this? Well, when you sit there and you keep focusing on that, guess what? You get that same lesson over again in a different body. And you call in the same lesson over and over again. And I'm like, nope, I don't want that lesson anymore. I've had enough. Which then leads to the 2 of hearts, which is cups. And that is partnership, emotional connection, love, harmony, deep union, actual give and take. There's reciprocity. No more overgiving, no more unbalanced, because this is going to be a balanced and healthy relationship, a genuine bond with equal footing, because we're kindred spirits, soulmates, creative, mutually supportive, and are spiritually aligned. This is what it's about, guys. And I want to be able to help you as well to be able to achieve this. All right, let's get our final closing message from the Archangel Raphael healing deck. And let's see what Archangel Raphael has to tell us. There we go. realm help. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels, and others in matters regarding my family and home. And I want you to be able to connect with the angelic realm and to be able to connect with your ancestors and your guides and Jesus and Source, to have the energy, the right mindset, to be fully in line with your divine blueprint in order to be able to lead yourself in these chaotic times of chaos and confusion, in order to live out the best life that you can, and that way you can be a protector and provider for your family as well. As always, until the next video, I am so grateful that you're here, and I appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments. If you want to go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know the next time I add content, I'd appreciate it. And the light in me honors and respects the light in you, and I hope you truly have a blessed day.